and how he turned it around tonight?
I thought he was fine. He just unfortunately got in foul trouble, which happens to the best of us. But tonight he did a good job of just sticking with it, being aggressive. When he's aggressive, our team is better. I've always told him that. And he's one hell of a player, and he's going to be great in this league for a long time. My job is to find ways just to keep trying to bring the best out of him.
Yeah.
Russ, I'm sure nobody had to tell you how you played the other night. So what are those 48 hours like?
You'd ask my wife, my mom, my dad, my brother. People, they're so annoyed with me right now. Honestly, I was just so pissed just my performance, and just wasn't feeling the best. When my team needed me the most. But everything happens for a reason. I knuckled down and took care of my body and made sure that my mind was right coming in tonight, and made sure that my energy and effort was there and my team could follow me.
And how does having 12 years of experience in the league allow you to bounce back from a game and not try to do too much in a big game like this?
Yeah, you know what? It's very important. When I was in Oklahoma City, Mo Cheeks, he always told me great players don't have 2 back-to-back bad games. And I always kept that in my mind, and always keep that in my mind when there is a time when I do play bad. Make sure that I'm locked and loaded for the next game, and make sure that I can go out and compete, and make sure my team is can follow, my lead.
Neil.
Hey, Russ. You guys had 5K fans in the stands today. You were hyping them up. They were very animated throughout the game. How much did that, help you guys maintain that big lead you guys were able to get?
I mean, it's important having fans in the building, having, the DC fans here, and keep them excited and engaged in the game. It's part of my job. It's something that this game brings out the best of all of us, especially with the fans in the crowd. And I'm happy they're in the building. And our job is to make sure that we can have more and more games to come to this season.
All right, Russ. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Okay, now I'm figure out.
Sabonis also sitting down just moments ago, so let's get to him now as he addresses the media.
The way that you wanted it to, and lots of unique challenges this season. How will you remember this season?
A lot of ups and downs, but the group we had was special. The locker room was great. Since day one till today, we're all, we all love playing with each other. We just hope things record.
Davide. Hey, Thomas, what about your season specifically? You grow a lot
to fight back from that deficit.
Man, they got on a roll. They got 2 elite players on that team, and they're at home. They're playing for something like we are. So when a team gets that type of momentum, it's hard.
Greg Doyle. Greg, you're on mute.
Sorry, Malcolm. A lot of reports earlier this year, a lot of rumors, whatever. Here's your chance on the record. What do you like, Nate Bjorkgren? Do you want to play for him? Does this roster want to play for him?
Man, we really try for Coach. What I can say to that is Coach really did his best this year, regardless of the reports, regardless of all the distractions and the noise. He continued to communicate with his players. He continued to work extremely hard for us and coach us the best he could. And we appreciated that. That's what I just told him in the locker room. I appreciate him. I appreciate everything you did for me and this team. I mean, at the end of the day, personally, I had a career year. And I told him that. I said, man, there's a lot of stuff that's come out about you. And, there's a lot of guys on this team that still played really well for you. And you did a really good job for us.
Thank you. Stephen Wino.
Malcolm, when you have those 2 elite players you're facing in Beal and Westbrook, is there anything you guys could have done better to slow them down tonight?
Of course, there's always stuff you can get better, but once guys like that get their confidence going in the quarter, you start rolling, there's not much you can do.
Scott.
Malcolm, as we talked about, you guys were full of praise for Nate for the first month. Was there a pivot point? Was there something significant that changed? Why the change maybe a month into the season?
Man, honestly, I think everybody has an opinion. All these outsiders that don't know what's going on in the locker room have opinions and are telling other people what's going on in the locker room. And I think as far as the locker room goes, we keep our stuff inside. The players enjoyed playing for Nate this year. We tried our best regardless of everything that happened. We were this close to making the playoffs through all the noise and the distraction. So, I tip my hat to coach and to my teammates.
Tony East.
Malcolm, before the season, there was talk from you guys, from coaching staff, front office, that you guys wanted to be better than last year, improve, make the playoffs, go far in the playoffs, and that didn't happen. What do you feel like needs to change for this team from now before the start of the next season to make that a reality?
I'm not sure. Personally, for me, I got to come back. I got to be better. I'd like to be even a better shooter, better defender, be in better shape. And I think that goes for me and my teammates. And that's about as much as we can control.
Nathan Edison.
Hey, what's going on, Malcolm? With all the injuries that factor into the season, what would you say is the biggest lesson that you learned in this season as it relates just to the core and the group of the guys that you played with?
Man, we had guys that really stepped up. I spoke in the locker room right after. Just told everybody, I'm proud of y'all, man. I'm proud of us. Guys stepped up. O'Shea, Ed, Aaron, these guys stepped up and played in a way they're at a level that people didn't think they could. And, I'm proud of my guys. That's all I can really say.
Scott.
Yeah, Malcolm, acknowledging all the unique circumstances, how would you encapsulate what it was like to be a player this year and all the different things that you had to go through? One thing I can say is COVID's a beast. The impact it had on us as players and coaches and front office, the whole league, but also, the stuff going on in the world. Putting all this in perspective, we didn't make the playoffs, but there's stuff going on all around the world that, atrocities are way more important than what's going on right now.
Davide.
Hey, Malcolm. Do you consider the season disappointing, considering you guys didn't make the playoffs? Do you think you could have done things differently to make the playoffs, or it's just a matter of injuries, COVID?
I think it's a mix. I think it's definitely disappointing. Whenever we don't make the playoffs, this is my first year in the NBA not making the playoffs. So for me, it's definitely disappointing. We had a team this year that could have made the playoffs, that are good enough and has all the pieces. Sometimes stuff just doesn't go your way, and that's what happened this year.
Anything else for Malcolm? Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Coach Bjorkgren is also sitting down.
This one opened with that 16-0 run in the second quarter and then never led by less than double digits the rest of the way. What went wrong during that sequence, and why was it so hard to come back from that?
Yeah, it was. There was a hole there. There was, I think it was 12. You talked about that run. 12 of those points were in transit. It was 12-0 in the second quarter there during that time, just in the transition score. So that was a difficult part there. And then when you give this team, the free running lanes and that kind of confidence, we did. They played well. They played very well. Played very well against us. Just we had a hard time with them this year, and just for different reasons. But that was, to answer your question, it was that second quarter, that 12-0 in transition there.
Bob Kravitz.
Nate, looking at the big picture, what do you feel like you established this year in terms of a style of play, and where do you need to improve moving forward?
Yeah, there was a lot of moving parts through this year, a ton. And it was a challenging year, for the players and the things